I'm here with the boys from Lamentari to talk about their performance today at Inferno, the last day. You guys open up final night, day 4. How was the experience from your point of view?
It's very recent, so a lot of energy still left in the body, but it's amazing, really amazing. Very nice venue, good energy, but it goes by in a flash when you're playing, right? So
Yeah, and I was watching Satyricon last night, and the lead singer was welcoming everyone to this kind of special place for Norwegian music, Norwegian extreme metal in Oslo. And I think you could feel that sense in the room that this is indeed a very special place for extreme metal here. So kind of being able to play in these hallowed halls was a magnificent experience, I think.
When I saw you guys going on stage, I love the production. I love the style. I love the look. I always feel like the music is number one, but then you have to have great presentation because it's like a meal. It doesn't matter how good the food is. If it doesn't look good on the plate, it immediately turns you kind of off even before you're trying. So for those that have never seen the band, when they look at you guys walking on stage, that's the first thing they're going to be consuming. How much work have you guys put into that part of who you are as a band?
a lot, a lot of work has been put into that. So I mean, we started when we first wrote the music. It's just out of love for music and what we wanted to do. And then at some point, you finish a product and you're like, okay, now we have to play it live. You don't have to, but it's nice. And just listening to it, you immediately realize, at least that's how I feel, and that you have to look larger than life on stage for it to make sense with the music. So you're right, the music comes first, but then the expression has to be coherent. So I mean, we started with a larger than life, and it's been evolving ever since. We've tried many things, and we always want to make it better, more grand.
Did you guys have to convince one another to go with this look or design? Was like somebody like, yeah, dudes. I mean, I don't know. I kind of just want to wear jeans or Hawaiian shorts.
No, I mean, there's the type of look. So like we're always developing on the look, and especially as the music is developing, the look has to go with where the music is going as well. But we would never wear, just jeans and a band shirt. It doesn't fit the music.
It doesn't fit the vibe that you guys are putting on. When you guys are thinking of playing a show like this, you mentioned it earlier. It's a big festival, one of the biggest like black metal festival, if not the biggest black metal festival in the world. Does that add extra pressure when you're coming on stage and you're preparing the performance, that you know what are you getting yourself into? Like you said, you saw Satyricon the night before. So any goosebumps?
Yes, I think I can say that for all of us, that it puts some pressure on you when you are arriving 2 days earlier and you're watching all these amazing bands playing on the same stage that you're going to stand on in 2 days' time, and then all of a sudden in 1 day's time, and then all of a sudden the same day. So yeah, that was special.
You guys won the Wacken Metal Battle in Denmark.
Close. Yeah.
In Denmark. Let's talk about the Denmark one. The other one, third place is almost first place, so as far as I'm concerned. So you guys won that, and I want to ask you guys about it because a lot of bands from where I come from don't want to participate because they see as something beneath them, that, a contest or like a battle of the bands is not cool at all. And you guys not only won yours, you got to play at Wacken because of it, and now you're playing here at Inferno. So to me, I think it's kind of cool to win one of those competitions. How would you explain that to someone who perhaps doesn't see that light at the end of the tunnel?
I think for us, it's sort of, it was part of the process. I mean, at the point that we signed up for Wacken Metal Battle, we were a completely new band, and it's a great opportunity. I don't like to see music as a competition, but I like the community that there is in the Wacken Metal Battle, and I don't mind that there's a battle around it. But for me at least, I went in with zero expectation of winning and just doing our best, and it's an opportunity.
It is really an opportunity for you guys. When you were going through that process, did you already had cemented the image that you have now, or is that something that was kind of become more cemented as you won that, as you're playing more shows? How was it?
I think we just took it to the next step about it. Like now we really have to like zone in. Everything was in place, I would say, at that time. From day one, I would say we never performed anything without any corpse paint or anything. All the masks that we played with today was like added on kind of recently. I think we played 2 or 3 times with that, and but for the Wagen one, like we knew that we had to perform and do our best, so we orchestrated the whole set list, like kind of thought about like the ups and downs of the set as all bands do, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely something we're very cautious about.
Yeah, yeah, and I think for the Wagen, what's special about that is it's 15, 20 minutes time you have, so everything is super condensed. You really have to put on a show where people kind of get it fairly quickly, because you can't build that.
No time to waste.
No time to waste, pretty much. So don't bore us, get to the chorus kind of vibe.
I love that line. There was one part of the show today that I have to ask you guys about. I don't know if it's something you guys can disclose or not, but obviously you guys start off the show with the masks on, and then at a certain point you decide to unmask the members, and there's a little bit of a ritual. I think I can call it that. It really feels like a ritual on stage. Yeah, it's super cool. It adds this really sinister vibe to the whole experience, and it almost feels like we're participating in like a secret cult ceremony that it's happening. I
got it then.
I got it. So it was. Is that the idea? Is that the idea?
It was, and it's fairly new. We're aiming to do like a ritual, and then making that ritual not only this one, but like next time we might do another one, and then we kind of naming the ritual. So we gather like an arsenal of different rituals that we do at each show, and then make it more special to kind of like promote next future shows. Also saying that, oh shit, this ritual we haven't performed in like a year or two, and then we can kind of book that on the show, saying like this ritual is going to be done today. So this one was called what was it? Ride of the Veil, I think, and actually.
You guys are ahead of the curve. I honestly, I admire that thought process. A lot of bands don't put that much thought process into their performances, and I think these days, in order to separate one from another, you need something. And taking that thought process, including that marketing into your performance, I think it's pure genius, and it really works well with a younger audience that wants to be amazed, because I see your performance not just as a band playing, but I see as an overall performance with everything that you guys do. And I thought was phenomenal. When I was listening to you guys musically, it's really hard to pinpoint you guys under one single genre. And people love to put labels on bands. So if you guys had to label yourselves, how would you do it?
It's I think we used to say symphonic Black and Death, but we take inspiration from whatever feels right. Of course, we always think about, this eerie feeling and this cultish vibe, but I don't think we try not to have any rules and do whatever we feel, and we experiment all the time, and some experiments go well and some don't. So whatever feels right, but of course it has to fit in like the total theme, and that's a feeling.
So, because there has to be some boundaries. You guys know exactly who you are and who you want to be. So if a song starts to veer off in a different direction, are you guys going to bring it back in?
It depends. It's on a case-by-case basis, right? Because we're always, I think often we're pushing it, right, to where we're almost going in uncomfortable territory, and I think that's what's really fun as well, because for me it brings in something new that you're not expecting, but you're still keeping the coherence, at least in our minds.
I think there's also something to say that all of us come from very different musical inspiration sources. And it's kind of like we have this frame and we're all pulling in different directions, and it kind of settles somewhere. So yeah, it's a collection of, it's like a witch's brew of many different inspirations.
Is the creative process a democratic one, if you will? Or does the creative process falls more on the shoulders of one member or another?
I think it typically starts with me and Max writing something, but it is democratic in the sense that we take inputs and we work in stuff during, but typically it has been me and Max meeting and coming up with some demos.
Do you guys work together, work apart, email stuff together? Do you like guys that like to collaborate from that sense? How does it work more on a more nitty-gritty kind of stuff?
It depends, but recently it has been mostly being there physically. Of course, there's been stuff sent back and forth, but being there physically has been a big part of it. During Corona, we actually wrote the whole album using Zoom.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
in England at that time, and Emil, he was here in Denmark, and we sat on Zoom calls. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
And I gotta say this, I met Max a couple of days ago at a bar here in Oslo during Inferno. He's a super funny dude. I'm sure you guys know that. He's a super funny dude.
He dances great.
He's a great guy to hang out with. But then when I saw him on stage, he looks like a completely different person. He's like a madman behind the keyboards, like Mad Max behind the keyboards, taking everything super seriously. So how do you match those two very different personalities? In the band, I'm sure everybody is the same way, the way you look on stage versus the way you are as a person. Where's the commonality?
Well, you're making me blush, first of all. And let's go dancing tonight, by the way.
Yeah, anytime. Nobody
Well-
puts baby in the corner.
No, nobody puts baby in the corner. But I think the thing is, you know, some bands, they have this where they have like an alter ego name, you know, Shagrath, Mystis, and Euronymous. And I think sometimes many of the black metal bands has tried to make it kind of hard to decipher what is real and what is not. And I don't think we are in that category at all, because we've very much from the get-go have just been very much ourselves. And then when we're on stage, it's much more about a mood that you tap into, a kind of energy. So me and Emil, when we've been writing songs, many times we've been writing music during the day, and then in the evening we went to go to salsa classes together. And so I think it's been a mishmash. I don't think there's a red thread through it all.
So will we see some salsa in one of the songs on stage?
No. So that you found the line.
Okay, so we found the line.
You found the line.
For somebody who would say there was no line, finally there is a line. And you as the front man, you did a phenomenal job. Like, you really do a phenomenal job on stage, and it's not an easy thing to do when you have a band like this with the sound that you guys have, everything very theatrical. How much are you focused on your own performance and almost kind of blocking everything else that's happening in front of you?
I think we're all agreeing on that. Like, yeah, once we're backstage, like everything is kind of silly and just like obviously everybody was a bit more on edge today. But as soon as we go on, like everything, just like everybody just turns it on, and being the front man, I'm also very aware that I have to turn it up a notch every time, and I try to do that as much as possible, with conserving energy and everything. It was really, really fucking hot today, though. But yeah, it's also a work in progress, and getting feedback from these guys, where everybody is open, like saying like, hey, maybe say this or like do that next time or something like that, and everybody's like just pushing each other all the time.
You want to say something?
I think it is a persona you put on, and it's like you go fully into that, and you're not human anymore, almost. You go on stage, and you're fully there, and you're just angry. You know, you just
Angry
go
at the crowd.
you're angry at the crowd. You just go full on. You're not yourself. It's especially with the mask. You're getting the ropes on. You're like transforming.
I honestly, I want to finish this conversation by saying that I think you guys are going to go very far. Like, you guys are wise beyond your ages. I assume you guys are all young just by looking at you. You guys don't look a day over 18. So you guys have this vision of what the music needs to be and what the presentation of that music is. And I talk to so many bands that don't have any idea. They think just, okay, if we make music, people will love it. And there's a lot more than just making good music. Good music is not good enough. And you guys, I can see that not only on stage, but when I talk to you. So pretty soon, you guys are going to be too big to talk to me. So I'm glad that I catch you at this point. And congratulations for opening Inferno on day 4. It was a pleasure seeing you guys live.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.